We're rolling.
Okay, here we
Mollie,
go.
thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Can you tell me about the Western Design Conference coming to Bozeman and what anyone and everyone should know about it?
Oh my gosh, there's so much to know. It's such an incredible event. It is a legacy event from Wyoming that has been in Wyoming for the last over 30 years. It was started in Cody, and then after 15 years, it went to Jackson for the last 18. And it has been the main event of the Fall Arts Festival in Jackson, kicking it off. And then in 2024, it was our last show in Jackson. And now we are moving up to Bozeman for August 6th to the 9th at the Brick 2026.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. It's a huge move. So many more opportunities. We're so excited to have it here.
How many years total has it been going on?
15, 18, over 34 years. Yep.
I was trying to do the math quickly in my head.
Math wasn't my strong suit in college.
Will it be continually in Bozeman every year after
That's
this
our
year?
hope. Yep, that's our hope. We're hoping for a really successful year. We've had some really incredible feedback and participation already with the show. The excitement and the buzz that we have for it coming to Bozeman is like something that we couldn't expect it to be. And we're so excited. It's been really, really incredible to like the warm welcome that Bozeman's giving us. And a lot of our artists who've been in the show in the past have reached out, and majority of them are coming with us, which is really exciting. We've had people who've attended the show in prior years who were like, we're already buying our tickets. We can't wait to make a trip out of it and come up to Montana. And honestly, we have people who come from all over the country as artists and exhibitors, but also as attendees. And so a lot of people are just switching their plane plans and flying into here instead of into Jackson. So it's exciting.
If somebody's never been, like myself, what could they expect? What is this event?
So many things. So the Western Design Conference, it's a 4-day exhibit and sale. It starts on Thursday night, August 6th. It's our preview party. And that kicks off we have a live auction where it's past award winners who can come and present. I am on stage with a wonderful auctioneer. And all of our auction items the money from that goes into our awards that we give back to the artists. We hand out over $20,000 in sponsor awards. And then we have a runway couture fashion show put on by Laura Cook, who has been with the show since it was in Cody. And it is the event to be at. You don't want to miss Thursday night. That also gives people a time to mix and mingle with all the artists and the designers that are going to be there. And then Friday through Sunday, it is a gallery style juried event. People from the public can come. Tickets are available for purchase now to come and attend the show. And you get to meet with designers, makers, artisans from all over the country. There's multiple different categories. There's leatherworks, metalsmiths, woodworkers, furniture makers, couture fashion. We have jewelry artists. We have people from all different walks of life, all different artists from all over the country who come and showcase their artwork. We have booths or pedestals. So if an artist has a pedestal piece, that's a juried entry, and they are judged by our panel of judges. And those are the people who have an opportunity to win some money and award sponsorship money that we hand out. So that's really cool. And it's a time where you can come in as someone who isn't interested in maybe designing your own home and meet with different interior designers in our designer show house that we build. We build out a 40 by 80 foot house in the middle of the Brick Breeden. And we have designers from all over who come and design out their individual rooms. And you can meet with them. You can meet with different artists who might be making a chair for you, who might be designing a new coat for you, different boots. My closet speaks to itself on how much Western Design Conference has influenced my fashion over the years. So it's really neat. You can find something for everyone there.
Hi, folks. Quick note from me. If you don't already know, the goal of Mountain Mule Media is to build real connection between Montana's businesses and the people they serve. If this episode or any other has given you something worth thinking about, smiling at, or passing along, I've got a small ask. Share it with a friend, text it to someone, post it in your story. That one simple action helps these businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this show keep going. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. Now back to the show. So most of the stuff here is all inspired by the West.
Mhm.
How do you sort of define anything that fits into this?
Into that category. It's changed so much over the years. You would have people back in the day who you'd say, "Oh, it's a Western design," and they would think antlers and raw wood and cowboys. And now you say, "Oh, it's Western influenced," and you might have rhinestones and fur and turquoise and um, different different features of different Western inspired architect, right? And now it's more Western influence, Western contemporary. So we have people who are designing things based on the movement of the mountains, or, like I was hiking and I saw this tree and I figured that this tree could make a really cool table design, something like that. So it's not that kind of like hokey Western that sometimes can get misinfluenced, I guess you could say. It's more inspired by the West and how it's grown over the years.
I'd imagine that definition is a little bit subjective
Totally.
to who
Yeah,
you are. And
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
how did you, is it 15 years you've been involved with this?
This will be my 16th summer, so to speak. I went to University of Wyoming and started looking for internships going into my senior year, and the Western Design Conference came up. I was focusing on event management and fashion design and that kind of a world. And I became an intern when I was 20. And then 16 years later, I'm now the event manager. And it's really exciting. And it's something that it's why I moved to Jackson and why I stayed in Jackson. And it's a family. And it's something I could never not see myself doing now.
Is that Laramie, University of Wyoming?
Yep. Go
Cool.
Pokes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that
I
here.
thought it was Cowboys, right?
Right, the Cowboys, but we
Yeah.
call ourselves the Pokes.
Okay.
Yep.
I gotcha.
Yep.
So 16 years, first year in Bozeman. Were you a part of it at all when it was, what did you say it was prior to Jackson? Cody?
No, I
Okay.
wasn't. I was too young to do that then.
Yeah.
But, it's really cool because a lot of the artists who were with it in Cody are still with the show and are also planning on coming to Bozeman. So it really is a family. There's designers who have known me since I was 20 years old and have watched me go through a lot of different aspects of my life. And uh, vice versa. I've seen them go through a lot of different things too. And when I say that the WDC is a family, the artists are a family. Allison and I, who run the show together, we're a family. It's a very tight knit group of people who come to this, and it's incredible. And we're excited to make Bozeman more of our family too.
Is there any credentials that people need to have to apply? Who do you encourage to apply? Is there anyone you don't encourage to apply? And just how broad is that?
No, we don't discourage anyone from applying. Everyone does have to apply. Our applications are open until February 1st. We do, when someone applies to the show, they have to go through an application process. So that's the first step, is to do that. And then our selection committee will go through and check things out and make sure it's at the caliber of what it needs to be at. And then that's how it's chosen. I can't really speak too much to all of that without giving some other stuff away. But we make sure that the people who are coming in are part of the show in the sense of they are bringing caliber of themselves and also of their craftsmanship to the show. And it's not just like hokey things.
And I know you said there's an auction. Are people selling things there? What does that look like?
Yes. So it's not just a show where you come and you look around. You're meeting with the artisans, you're meeting with the makers, and you can purchase directly from them. Allison and I take absolutely no commission on any of that. It's all direct from the maker to the buyer. So I actually have a pretty cool story. There's this one man, his name is Jeff. He's been coming to the show. He's from New York for years. And him and his wife built this beautiful home. I want to say it's in Michigan. I'd have to double check on that. And almost everything that they've put into their house has come from the Western Design Conference. They have furniture by Steve Henneford. They have chandeliers that have been purchased that they met all these artists directly at the show and have worked with them to fill their home with Western Design Conference artists and artisans, which is really cool. And then the auction that we do we have, like I said, past award makers or award winners who are able to be a part of it. And it's a 50-50 split. So 50% of the auction items go back to the artist, the other go back into our awards. And we hand out over $20,000 in awards to different artists.
Is the committee who makes a selection on the awards?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yep. So we have judges, and then we also have a selection committee. And our judges haven't seen the pieces before they see them on the show floor.
Are there architects at these events?
There are, yes. So we have some architect sponsors, and then we have architects who come and attend. We also have interior designers who are coming to attend the show. We also have interior designers who are actively participating in the show in our designer show house. We have Kibler and Kirch, Jeremiah Young, who is one of our designer show house designers. We have Icon Bunks, who they're building out an entire bunk room with Michelle McCartney, which is super exciting. And we have a bunch of different architects who help. They'll help sponsor the show, or they'll help produce part of the designer show house. We also have Montana Reclaimed Lumber, who is going to be part of the show house this year, which is really exciting. Mike was in the Jackson show, and they built us this really cool timber frame for it. And I was like, do you still have that? He's like, I do. He's like, we should bring that back. He's like, we should bring that back. So that's going to be fun to have at the show this year as well. And he doesn't have to drive as far.
Yeah.
Which is a game changer.
I wondered when you said the client who might be in Michigan, if people are building homes that are Western inspired. And I wonder if they ever look at a place, if it's in Michigan or if it's,
right. Right. Yeah. I know for a fact that we have people who come to see the show from Texas, from California, from Arizona, from all over the country. And a lot of them have built homes or have purchased, land to build even out here. And then a lot of it is inspired by the show, which is really interesting.
How familiar are you with the Bozeman airport?
I'll be flying out of there this evening. So
I think of that, and Brian Springer, the CEO, did the podcast a while back, and I'm always so impressed and just happy with the way they've maintained that, the design, the art, and everything in there. And I think that's so cool when something that's growing as fast as Bozeman is and the airport, that they seem to be very well attached to the roots of the West and Montana, and it's very cool. Yeah, that is really cool. It's funny you say that about the airport, because Jackson also just did a huge airport transition a few years ago, and they could have brought in artists from who knows where, but they actually worked with a local girl, and she did a huge Amy Ringholz. She did a huge painting in there, and that was really cool to see that they kept it local. Yeah, there's some nice stuff in the Bozeman airport. I'll have to check it out tonight. Yeah, there's some big sculptures and stuff hanging. Cool. And I know Brian had said, I think in a sense they had just avoided a lot of stainless steel. So probably a good idea. Yeah, there's a lot of wood finishes, and it just has that. Yeah, I haven't flown in and out of there in years, and then flying out of there tonight. So cool. Yeah, I think we get the most compliments from, or that's one of the biggest things we get as far as feedback from clients that are visiting, is that airport feels like a lodge. It does not feel like an airport. And it can get a little chaotic when it gets busy, but it's very cool that it's maintained that feel. I'm actually going to be there quite a lot in the next few weeks. I have some other friends who are flying in and out of Bozeman. So it's like, perfect. Let's make that work. So it'll be fun. So what else should people know about this conference if they want to go and they're in Bozeman and they want to come check it out? Well, tickets are available now, and they can purchase at the door as well. So it is open to the public. It's not just a conference where it's privately invited people. It's anyone can come and check it out, which we highly encourage, because you might meet someone or see something that you've never seen before and then be inspired to do something as well. We are also currently looking for an intern. If anyone is interested, you could be like me and be with the show for 16 years. So the Western Design Conference, it's truly something incredible, and it's an event that you've never experienced. You're going to meet people from all walks of life there, and in all different parts of the world, and everyone has a different story that's super unique to them, and it's really, really interesting. What does the intern position look like?
Ooh, it looks like hanging out with me a lot. We are looking for someone to run our social or help with social media. I might be a millennial, but I'm definitely not Gen Z with all of the TikToks and things that people are doing nowadays. So we need someone to do that. They would be highly involved in getting the word out, running errands, doing intern things, stuffing bags, all the fun stuff, helping sell tickets, everything like that.
I think everyone roughly around our age involved in business is looking for someone
I do
like
too.
that to do their social media.
I know. I was like, it's funny because when I started as an intern, like Facebook was still the big thing of like, that's how you get the word out. And Instagram was just starting. And so we were like, okay, how can we do this? But, throw on all the filters and do all that. And that was my internship, was doing that and running errands and stuffing bags and selling tickets and kind of being here, there, and wherever, modeling in the show, all of that, which was really fun. And now I get to a point where I'm also a hairstylist, and I can't keep up with all of the socials and everything. It's so much work.
Yeah.
And then you have people who this all they do. And I'm like, this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. How much do you think since you were an intern to now, how much has it changed or grown?
Oh my gosh. So much. There's been a lot of things that we've tried over the years, and some have stayed, some have not. The space obviously changing is huge. But what's really cool is that the soul of the event is still the same. And I know that might sound a little weird, but it's it's something that all of the artists who are involved and all of the people who are involved with the show, everyone is so passionate about it that it never feels stale. It continuously is changing, and you have new artists every year, which is really fascinating. And so you get to meet new people, and you hear their stories, and then you see them going on and on and on with more success over the years. And we had one artist actually from up here in Montana, Canty Boots, and she came to the show, and I have a couple pairs of her boots, and they're really comfortable, and it's so fun. And then we saw her when she was kind of just starting off, and then all of a sudden she has Victoria's Secret models wearing her boots. Which, how cool is that to watch and see the progress of different designers and artists out there? And but the soul of the show is still the same, in the sense that we're a family, we're a legacy event, we're bringing in people from all over the country to come and showcase their beautiful work.
Hey folks, Tim here with Mountain Mule. I've got a quick announcement I wanted to tie in here. I'm excited this spring 2026. We're officially going to start doing park tours through Yellowstone Park. These will be day tours starting and ending in Bozeman with custom pickup and drop-off locations along the way. We're building out the program now, so there'll be lots of updates coming through, but please keep us in mind if you've used us for transportation in the past. We plan on delivering the same quality of service, and we're excited to be able to expand what we're doing to have a busier summer for the teams and be able to offer more options. That's very cool.
Yeah, it is.
Has been around this conference every year and all these artists, what has that taught you about? I guess you said you're a hairstylist, so what has it taught you about your work and just your life in general?
Yeah.
These are light questions, so just ease into them.
Just easy questions. Man, let's see. Well, so I actually wasn't planning on being a hairstylist. That wasn't my end game. I was very much into like the fashion world, and I was doing a lot of styling and a lot of couture styling for different people who I met through the WEC. They're like, "Oh, I like how you dress. Can you dress me?" And that, and then it turned into, well, I want to be more of a full service stylist. And so I became hairstylist, makeup artist, and that really took off with my career as well. And so these two things combined have been really interesting. But I think at the root of it is that you're going to meet people who, smell like cigarettes and whiskey, and you're not going to want to give them the time of day, but they might be the most insanely connected person you could ever meet. And all of a sudden you're shaking hands with celebrities because of that one person. And I think I learned that through the show, where it's like you have people who don't look like artists that, you're thinking you're going to be buying a $10,000 piece from. And then all of a sudden you are. And I think it's that whole, like, don't judge a book by a cover kind of deal. And I've definitely taken that through all aspects of my life. And I wouldn't say that's just from the show, but it's definitely one of those situations where you see someone and you might be like, huh. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, they really know what they're talking about. So it's
Yeah,
cool.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
I can relate in this experience of doing podcasts. You just sit down with so many different people from different walks of
Right.
life, and everyone generally has a really cool story and a lot more depth than you just, I don't know, we make quick assumptions about
Exactly.
people. And I don't know, the stereotype for an artist is they probably do smell like cigarettes and they're just
Right.
crazy and they're
Yeah.
covered in tattoos and all the
Yep.
above. And that's because they're so expressive. That's, generally one of the reasons they can create such cool pieces of
Right.
art.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely one of those things where it's like, don't judge a book by a cover because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about, let's hear a little bit more about your business because you might as well plug it while you're doing this too.
I don't need to plug it too much.
Where are you?
I'm based in Jackson still.
Uh-huh.
But I actually travel a lot. I've started to move more into the traveling aspect of styling. I'm actually flying out today to go do a wedding in Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'll take a Puerto Rico break in the middle of January, even though we don't have any snow. I would prefer snow first, but that's okay. Yeah. So I've been stylist, both fashion and couture stylist since I was about 21. So about 21, 22. So about 14, 15 years. And then hairstylist for about 12, 13. So it's really fun. The bridal industry is my baby, so to speak. Bridals and blondes. That's kind of what I do. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm going to plug all your stuff in.
Okay.
I'll put it all in the description so people can find you.
Yeah.
Is there any like big misnomers or misconceptions about the Western Design Conference? Anything?
I'm going to say yes. Mostly because there's been this huge switch with social media that's happened, where you have these Western influencers who you're seeing at NFR, who you're seeing at Stagecoach, and they're wearing, like the fake cowboy hats or the fake cowboy boots and the rhinestones and like the less is more kind of deal, where, that's not really the culture of the Western world, I would say. Going to the University of Wyoming, we went by like the code of the West and the code of the cowboy, and how it's more like help your neighbor, help yourself, like help your neighbor before you help yourself, care about the environment, etc. And that's more of the Western couture and Western culture. Whereas I think because of a lot of the media change and like that people think like, oh, Western and cowboy, it's all like rhinestones and all of that. When in reality, yeah, there is an aspect of that. You walk in and you see these barrel racers who are incredible, and they're in their rhinestone jeans, but of course. But then you see the people who aren't necessarily in the culture and are trying, and that's totally fine. Like, we're welcome. Like, let everybody come in and where they express themselves. So I do think that can be a misconception sometimes. Is like, oh, it's so Western. It's it's antlers and things like that, and that's not what the show is anymore. There's definitely aspects of it for sure, but it's not a huge part of it. It's more about the foundations of how the West shapes people and how this culture and this community out here shapes people's art. There's one of our artists who's been with the show for a few years. She's a huntress, and so she actually goes, and all of the leathers that she uses are from animals that she's killed and hunted for her, for meat and stuff. And then she uses the fur and she makes beautiful pieces out of that as well. So she's using the whole animal, and that's more of like the Western culture that I think that it gets lost nowadays.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I know it's like
cool.
it's like an almost political topic.
I know. I was like, how do I word this without getting into politics right now?
I grew up on a farm. I grew up on a dairy farm.
I heard about that on Blaze podcast. Yeah.
So I get it and see it. And I've found that this has been my experience, which maybe I live in a bubble, but at least my favorite people are people that, maybe they've been in Montana forever. They're kind of accepting of both aspects of that.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's there's the true cowboy that, grew up in the West and,
right.
Rode horses and took care of cows. And then there's, I don't know, like more the theater side of it or the social media side of it. And I don't know, like those, some people are just very accepting and like they're okay with that. And then some people are very defensive, and I'm not here to judge people, but I try to, at least coming from a farm background, just
accept,
be okay with that. It's not like to each their own, and everyone's because I'll go to, like, if I go to a big city, that's like I'm leaning into that opposite side of not where I'm from, and I just kind of embrace it, and it's cool,
Right.
and I respect it, and it's
Being able to shift and go with the flow of it all. And I would definitely say that's more of what people are starting to do nowadays, which is great. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, it's cool because I could see where you could get a bet. It's just a kind of a divisive topic.
It 100% is. It's like you're either this or you're that, and it's like no. We're all one.
Is there an issue with it not being in Jackson, or did it just make more sense to come to Bozeman now?
Well, so we lost our event space.
Okay.
And so and it's not that we weren't able to use the space anymore, unfortunately. And so Alice and I kind of came together and we're like, okay, we are either going to move the show or sell it or try and figure it out. And neither of us were ready to let it go. And I think depending on who you talk to, you can, one of us was probably like, oh my gosh, we got to let it go. And the other one was like, we can't. And then we went back and forth switching roles for a few months. We looked kind of all over. We exhausted everywhere in Jackson trying to make it work. And then we looked at Cody, we looked at Park City, we looked at Aspen, we looked everywhere. And then we had someone be like, what about Bozeman? And I've been coming up to Bozeman for a long time. I have a lot of really close friends here. And I was like, wait, that could work. And we came up for her daughter's lacrosse tournament, and we went and we checked out the brick, and we kind of walked in and we did one of those moments like, are we going to do this? We're going to do this? And we went to the cannery and had a couple drinks, and we're like, yeah, we're doing this. Let's go. And let's go Bozeman. And so it just kind of made sense. And the second we announced, like I said, everyone has been so supportive. We haven't really had any negative feedback. Sure, there's been people who are like, oh, I'm so sad it's leaving Jackson. Like, but we're still going to come, or like, oh, we're so bummed that it's not going to be there. But like, how can we still be a part of it? How can we still help promote you guys? We've had great help from people in Jackson who've been sponsors of the show, even since when it was in Cody, who definitely were sad that it was leaving, but they were like, whatever you guys need, like, we want to make it work. We want to help you. And same thing, our fashion show team comes from Cody, and so they're coming up and everyone's excited.
Yeah, that is cool. The brick's a big spot.
It's huge.
Do you have general numbers of attendance? And did you say it's 100 artists?
Give or take.
Okay.
Yep. Can't say too much on that yet. But we actually, so the space that we're going from is half the size of what the brick is. But what's really cool is now we're able to utilize the entire space of the brick instead of having to do a midnight switchover after the party on Thursday. So that's really exciting. So we're not going to be awake until 3 o'clock in the morning tearing down a stage and building walls. So we have more help, and having more space is great. And we're excited. We have an incredible team that comes and builds all of the gallery style walls for us. And so I think they're excited that there's a little bit more support staff in terms of what the brick has to offer, and their team has been great with us so far. So we're excited to be there.
Yeah, there's
a lot more parking.
There's some cool shows and stuff that go on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said intern. Is there anything else you guys are looking for or need as far as support and
sponsors?
Bozeman? Okay.
Yeah. We're right now we're on a big push for our sponsorship. We have multiple different values available. The sponsors are huge to the show because this show is fully funded by sponsors and by artists and by just making things work. We don't, like I said, Alice and I don't take any commission from any of the artists. So it's ticket sales, sponsors, to put the show on. This is a big change from Jackson. It's a big monetary change from Jackson. So we are looking for sponsors right now. Our sponsors are huge. They've support. We have some who have supported the show since it's been in Cody. We have Montana Reclaimed Lumber, who's one of our sponsors. We have Icon Bunks, who's one of our sponsors. Planning Alternatives has been a sponsor for us in the past, and they're going to be sponsoring for us as well this year. We have some of our different levels. One that's really cool is our ticket sponsor. We have two of those sponsorships still available, and that's a $10,000 sponsorship. But what's really neat is that whoever sponsors that day of ticket sales, a percentage of our ticket sales for that day go back to a nonprofit of their choice. And so we're really excited to be able to partner with multiple different nonprofits instead of just one or two in the past that we've had to do in the past. So yeah, if anyone wants to sponsor, we're starting to get ready for that, and we're really, really looking for some incredible local sponsors as well.
And anyone interested in sponsoring can go to the website.
Yep, they can go to the website. There is, you can email Allison and I, or directly, both of our information's there, or fill out a sponsorship form, or DM us on Instagram. I mean, you can send snail mail. I'll take a pigeon, whatever you want to do, send it to me. Get in touch. Let's make something great. And the nice thing about being the first year here is that, say, you did want to come and sponsor the show, but you wanted to do a little bit more, right? You're like, hey, I want to sponsor, but what can you get? We're going to work with anybody right now to make things really cool and really beneficial to both people. The Carpenter family in 22 Wagyu, they are based down in Hoback, Wyoming, and they're expanding their reach. They're incredible. Their meat is so good, and so they are one of our sponsors this year. And so we're working on doing something with them and how to get their word out, the name of them out more here in Montana and not just in Wyoming. They actually just got a deal with the Four Seasons in Jackson to be their Wagyu supplier. So we're going to try and help them out up here.
Very cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me the dates one more time.
August 6th through the 9th, 2026 at the Brick.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come here.
Thank you.
I'll put everything in the description, and hopefully some more people find out about this and reach out to you.
That'd be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mollie.
Cool.
Thanks for listening, folks. You can find the full blog post for every episode, along with key takeaways and links, at mountain-mule.com. If you haven't yet, consider following the show. That one small action helps these Montana businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this podcast keep going too. If you know a business that would be a good fit for the show, we'd love to hear from you. Just reach out through the website or social. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. See you on the next show.